Every story has 3 acts. This is the second act, so the climax of the story.
The climax typically happens in the third act.
You're building up, you're plateauing, it should be awesome.
So the mountaintop is not in the middle, okay? It's like this, okay? That's how movies do it.
You change something at the beginning of the movie, and then you change another, like the story completely changes again.
So this one's like this, to this, to this?
Yeah.
Or 3?
Yep.
Okay. Hopefully it's a good one.
Whoa! Whoa!
Ty, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. Happy to be doing this again. It's a fun week last week, just watching the show grow a little bit. Seeing Ben get all the love. I mean, this kid's unstoppable right now.
Yeah, nice little reaction on there. I definitely have a lot of Ben content rolling through my feed right now.
Hey, I don't blame you.
Got to do what the people like, I guess, a little bit.
Dude, people are begging for it in the comments. They're like, more. We need more. Like, even Dad put out that, like, nice tweet of Corso, and it was super heartfelt. Like, it was great. I was like, oh, I'm going to go to the comments. So it's like,
there's no way.
Oh, like, you can tell you guys are such great friends. It's like, we need Ben. We need more Ben.
I didn't look at the comments. I thought that was wholesome, and I'm glad Dad addressed the situation as well. Yeah, it's been a fun week. I stayed at home, kind of reset, watched a lot of movies, played a lot of video games, got into all that, watched a lot of sports as well. And if you guys are into that type of thing, think about subscribing to the channel potentially. Drop a little like. Let us know what you want to see us talk about in these different categories.
Yeah, we would love to take you guys' recommendations. All right, guys, we had week 12 this past weekend. A lot of fun games, kind of teams solidifying themselves. And then we got week 13 coming up, rivalry week. Should be a great time, and we are going to dive right into it. There's some fun games. Georgia obviously solidified their spot number 1. They kicked Tennessee's ass. One tough thing I saw, Florida State lost Jordan Travis. They're sitting at that number 4 spot, but you can't really vote against them for losing a player like that. But he's such a big part of their team. It's going to be hard to see how they fare in the ACC championship. I think they'll play Louisville. It's going to be an interesting decision for the committee because losing a guy like that, that's tough right there.
Yeah, that's demoralizing for those fans. This is like the first year they really broke out. They're moving in stride each week, and then to lose their guy at the helm, that's tough to see.
In the past with Ohio State, they've had Cardinals Jones come in and clean it up against Wisconsin and just absolutely pop off. So that could be kind of a scenario there in Florida State. That's probably the best case scenario for them. Jordan Travis obviously out for the season, done with his college career. We're sending out our prayers to him. I know it's not a way you want to end your career, especially at Florida State with this much momentum.
I hope they can sort it out. Tate Rodemaker's their guy next in line, so maybe they can have some kind of miracle string together after this one.
So we got Ohio State, Michigan this week. That's like always a big one in our eyes. Grew up diehard Ohio State fans. It's actually Michigan this week. All the X's across the campus at Ohio State. Michigan got a little scared by Maryland this past week. They ended up pulling away, but Maryland looked pretty good. They had Tfue's younger brother slice him up a little bit, but they came out on top.
Yeah, we know that these games, a week prior to the rivalry week, where everybody's mindset's thinking about Ohio State. And I know Ohio State's always thinking about Michigan, the Michigan game. It was really big for them to get this win against Maryland. We're going to have a game on our hands up in Ann Arbor this weekend, and I think we'll be there for that. So
yeah, we will.
We're excited to give you guys all the deets. That was painful to say. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It should be a great one. Hey, dude, it's number 2 versus number 3. Going to be an all-time matchup. This one's been circled on both of those teams' calendars the whole year. And Ohio State's trying to get some revenge after last year losing. The past 2 years, Michigan's been on a little win streak.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Ohio State needs to turn that around. Marvin Harrison, they need to get him going.
Well, that's the thing I wanted to mention. Our dad had mentioned on game day this week that the weather is going to be very cold. It's going to be snowing up in Ann Arbor that weekend. I looked up McCord because I wasn't sure where he went to high school. I think he's a Philly kid, so he plays in the snow. Maybe he can get Marvin the ball, but I think the ground game is going to be really key to this victory, either side. And Michigan's known for ground and pounding, so I'm a little nervous. But Ohio State, they got a little chip on their shoulder. I'm excited to see how they do.
Dude, those games are cold and snowy, and you love every second of it.
Oh my God!
I remember going to that game 2008 or so. It was like Beanie Wells was Ohio State's running back, and it ended up coming close towards the end of the game, and Ohio State came out on top at Michigan, so that was awesome when we were little.
There was somebody a little loud on Twitter this weekend that we thought we might address. He's calling out our boy Pat McAfee. Ninja. He said that he thinks he can make the kick during college game day. He wants that $100,000 on the line. He wants it all.
Yeah, he's from
adding
Michigan too, so he's a big Lions fan. Maybe if he makes his way to game day Saturday, he'll end up being the kicker. That would be
We will keep our eye out for him. Hopefully that comes to fruition.
Hey.
We will be pulling for it.
Cool to see gaming and sports kind of clash a little bit. That's always cool to see. That's why the show's built the way it is. It's fun to see that. So we'll keep you guys updated with what happens there. And another big thing from this past weekend, Washington beat Oregon State. It was a close one, though. They gave Washington a little scare.
They gave Washington a game. We'll see if they can bring it back-to-back games because Oregon's a really good football team. They're a hot squad, and we like them for that one. So
they were balling out this past week. They were looking good doing it with their chrome helmets. It's always a good look out of them. Oregon, they need to win against Oregon State to get to that Pac-12 championship, like Jake was saying, and that'll be another all-time game that next week. So we got some fun games ahead of us. Yeah,
that's on the Friday, so don't miss that one. Everybody else is kind of solidified, but there is that Texas team that we wanted to talk about. They beat Alabama earlier this year, and they're definitely a contender. We know that the way the playoff committee thinks about these teams is like big wins are super important, and Alabama's like become this great team, and I'm curious to see if them beating them so far back in the season like still holds its weight going into like the final decisions.
Those early season losses are kind of tough, though, because the team's trying to figure out who they are. Milroe's not like a solidified starter yet. If they played Bama right now, like I don't know if they'd beat them.
I agree, but like it doesn't matter. Like the committee just is true. Like a win's a win. Like that Notre Dame was holding a lot of weight for Ohio State, even though they haven't panned out to be any kind of team.
Yep.
And that was a tight one.
This week, we're going to make our way up to New York. Our dad's calling the Jets game on the Friday after Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Very thankful for all of you and thankful for Jake and all the people behind the scenes. It's a good time of year.
Don't be afraid to throw this one up on the big screen with your family and enjoy the Street Talk Show.
Yeah, get the turkey going a little bit, stuffing.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, guys.
On Thanksgiving, this NFL slate, it's looking pretty exciting. This past weekend, got a lot of teams showing out. Myles Garrett always shows up. This kid's a beast, just like a disruptor. They had like 2 safeties in a row, and the refs were like, it's on the 1-yard line. I was like, what are we doing here? But he also did pick up a Steeler helmet during the game. We remember what happened last time. He picked up a Steeler helmet, so they were quick to take that out of his
offensive lineman snatched that thing back from him real quick. He knew exactly what it was going on. You could tell the interaction was like they were addressing it. They knew. They knew it. They were like, hey, you don't need that right now. Nope. Shout out the Lions on a big win this week. Got to see that one come down to the wire. It was the Bears, but like they were battling with them. You know, they're always a Thanksgiving team, so I wanted them to have a win going into this next game. Shout out to Hutchinson with a big play at the end there.
Hey, that boy Foxy was hyped up.
Let's fucking go. Victory beer. See you on Thanksgiving.
Oh my God.
Foxy was pumped.
I know. I saw him fire out like 25 tweets during that game. He was feeling it. On the other side of the coin, the Titans are dead. We don't have to talk about them anymore.
It's pretty sad. At least we got a little hope during the season a little bit.
Our offense compared to everybody else's is just so far below. And it's sad to see.
Hey, got to give some credits to the Jags, too. They were looking pretty aggressive. Trevor,
they are.
Dialing it up.
No, they're good. They're good.
No more mayo, no more bananas. Put them away. Don't even buy them at the store. It's not worth it.
Yeah, I hate mayo now. Well, for next year. We'll wait until next season, then we'll think about it again. No, the Eagles and the Chiefs play Monday night. We got to think about that one. 2 offenses that look a lot better than the Titans. These guys get it done on offense and the defenses. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, can't wait for that one. Let's do a little prediction. I know you guys are seeing this at a later date, but who you got tonight?
I got the Eagles. I like Hurts a lot. Their offense is just – they got so many weapons on the outside. You're going to spread the defense out. They score with every player on offense, so like you can't just defend one guy. That defensive line is going to give Mahomes a little bit of trouble. Freak of the week this week, Ty? We going to get into that real quick?
Should we hit the already then? Into it real quick?
Yeah, hit that shit. Ty, freak of the week this week, I got Tommy DeVito. This guy was throwing up these.
Danny DeVito.
Couple of those.
Oh, it was Tommy, huh? Tommy?
Yeah, Tommy. It
wasn't Danny. It was his brother Tommy.
Yeah. I mean, he's on the Giants, who are like 3-8 right now. They don't look great, but they throw this guy in the game, and then he starts balling out. start throwing the ball to Saquon Barkley down the sideline. He's not even wide receiver, make him wide receiver. I mean,
yeah, dude, that catch
fun to
was
watch.
sweet. I saw that catch. That was a little over the shoulder action. I was like, was that Saquon?
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah, we just like the ball placement there was like perfect.
Yeah,
it was right between the safety and the corner. It was beautiful. Hit a few other guys, but I mean, Tommy DeVito, I love the moxie with the throwing up the paisanos. Yeah, so like he's from that state. It probably felt good. I just wanted to give him a shout out this week.
Yeah, that was awesome. I was like, we got Danny DeVito back there, huh? My freak of the week, not as fun, but Bo Nix here. I mean, this kid, 6 touchdown passes, I think, for over 400 yards. Oregon's been the team I've been hyping up for the past few weeks, and I think if they can beat Oregon State this weekend, then they're going to give Washington a run for the money. They only lost by a field goal when they first played them, and they're really hot right now. I think they might find their way into the top 4 with Florida State losing their guy, so...
We grew up watching Oregon, Kenyon Barner, and all these guys.
Michael James.
I mean, we had all the
Mariota.
jerseys, we had all the swag. Yeah. They've been swagging out for a while.
Anthony
so
Thomas.
We pulled up to elementary school, geared up. So I always like seeing these guys succeed. This is the year for them. Let's pull it. Come on.
Hey, Dan Lanning, their coach, he's a dog, bro. I just like his moxie. He gets fired up on the sideline. He likes to hit that. What's that face you like to do, Jake?
What?
That face.
What's he doing? He does the... He is the only coach that's like pulled up to a opposing team's college game day set and just kind of ate up the crowd noise. So like I respect him for that.
Let's go.
He seems like he's a guy.
We're gonna move on to movie talk now. We got some great movies to talk about. Let's get into some movies we've seen recently.
Yeah, we got a common theme. We got 2 Bong Joon-ho movies we ended up watching. Shout out to that guy, Korean mastermind. He's a great director. I watched Snowpiercer for the first time. It was a whirlwind. From the beginning point where the action starts, it doesn't stop to the end of the movie, and it's like 2 hours long. So it was a lot of fun.
I have something to show you at the end of this review that might interest you.
I'm excited to see it. Yeah, this one's set in 2031 after the whole Earth is frozen by some human doing. Only people alive are on this train. This guy named Wilfred is the train owner, and there's a bit of a hierarchy going on in this train. The people in the back are a little mad about the way that they're treated, and it starts a revolution, and that's what this movie is about. Bong Joon-ho, the director, he's known for putting these social commentaries in all his work. I just know in this one, obviously, the back of the train to the front of the train, you got a little hierarchy involved there. One of his past movies that I watched that we'll definitely dive into eventually is Parasite. This one is about like the height, like the buildings at the top of the hill compared to the people in the slums are low. Like he always has some kind of, like you could visually see the representation that he's trying to go for in his work. And this one's no different. I really liked this one. Very hectic, but there's not much you can do when you got like a train as your set piece and you got to like kind of stay confined to these walls. But in a way, it works pretty beautifully. And then as the story progresses, you're working up towards the front of the train.
It's like video game levels. You like start in the slums and you like work your way up. Like you're like in like school classrooms and like things like that. This is the end of the world. Like it's like a post-apocalyptic. The only thing that is left in the world is this train going around in circles because you can't go outside.
The cool thing is, as a viewer, you're kind of walking through the train headed up towards the front for the first time. Like these people have not seen the rest of the train ever. Like they got on the back, like I think it was like 17 years ago. And then they're seeing all this for the first time. They don't know what's in front of them. And I'll leave that to you to go watch and see what they find. Chris Evans, his name's Curtis in this one. He's the main character, Captain America. He's a weapon. He's the leader of the revolt, even though he doesn't seem like he wants to be at the beginning, but he progresses through the story well. I just like Chris Evans as an actor. He's just built like a freak in this one.
He's a badass, bro. Tearing shit up. He
had to have been training for his Captain America role before this one too, because he looks about the same in this. Yeah. With a sick beard. I want to give a shout out to my favorite actor in Bong Joon-ho movies. He seems to be, if he's not the main character, he's an important integral piece to it. His name is Song Kang-ho. He plays a guy in this one, and he's got a little mystique to him. So it's fun to watch him in a different kind of role. Normally he's playing like a layman.
All right, let me just tell you guys what's going on here. This movie is a sequel to Willy Wonka, and here's why.
Wait, what?
So, one of my favorite filmmakers is the South Korean director Bong Joon-ho. He didn't really break out in the US in a huge way until Snowpiercer came out. I really like Snowpiercer, but one interesting thing about it was that it reminded me of my favorite movie of all time. Okay, I may have
they cut
lost
the music out?
a lot of you there.
But I love
How
it.
could an incredibly violent R-rated movie set in the post-apocalypse from 2013 possibly remind me of a children's classic from the 1970s? Well, they're both two movies about groups of people that work their way through a large, fantastic structure. One by one, a person from the group is removed in each room until one person makes it to the very end, who then found out that the entire thing was a test because a wealthy industrialist needed to find a new successor.
Jake, your
Okay,
mind's about to
are
be
you still
blown,
with
bro.
me? Because
I
the
got
more
it.
I've been
Yeah,
thinking
it's-
about it, the more I'm convinced that Snowpiercer is a sequel to Willy Wonka, and Ed Harris plays the adult version of Charlie
He looks
Bucket,
like him
who
too,
took
bro.
over Wonka's candy empire, and who is the one who built the super train. Now let's look at the hard facts. Remember that Willy Wonka specializes in creating two different things in his factory: state-of-the-art food production and experimental modes of transportation. And he does all of this in a factory that is completely sealed off from the outside world, meaning that Wonka has the technology to make a food-producing factory that is self-contained and self-sustaining.
And this train is a closed ecosystem.
Nobody ever goes in. Nobody ever comes out.
With that in mind, let's try to piece together a hypothetical timeline that links these two movies. At the end of Willy Wonka, Charlie inherits the factory. But let's suppose that Charlie
What was that
ends
shot?
up forsaking his last name Bucket, and as an apprentice takes on the name of Wonka, specifically Wilfred Wonka. And also, like his teacher,
the
is sure
W,
to brand
bro.
everything with a giant W. Maybe Charlie/Wilfred kept his fellow golden ticket winners around, as an example of his twisted sense of mercy.
And Wilfred is divine!
We know that one is.
Wilfred is merciful!
Tilda Swinton gave an iconic
The Squirrel
performance
Girl.
as Minister Mason. But what if Minister Mason is just the future version of...
I'm Veruca Salt.
We don't know what Veruca is like after surviving the garbage chute. Remember, her and her father were trapped together, and there's a good chance she narrowly avoided getting incinerated. This could have traumatized Veruca and changed her entire outlook on life. Instead of being ungrateful, she now became too grateful, fanatically devoted to the graces of Charlie, who saved her life.
You people who have suckled the generous titty of Wilfred,
But she still keeps her ill temper and tendency to insult people.
you filthy ingrates!
You're always making things difficult.
But there's one key signature element from Willy Wonka that isn't present in this linked Snowpiercer theory.
This is it,
But
right
in a
here.
weird way, the fact that it's missing proves that these two films are connected. And I'm, of course, talking about the Oompa Loompas.
See what you got.
Perfect puzzle for you.
Surely, if this was indeed a sequel to Willy Wonka, wouldn't there be Oompa Loompas everywhere working on the train? Well, they would have been if they didn't go extinct. All of Wonka's prior transportation technology was operated by Oompa Loompas. It was operated by
They're
tiny
the kids
people.
in the.
The space only
They're the kids
allows
in the
for
engine.
a very small
Yeah.
person. The engine lasts forever, but not so all of its parts. That piece of equipment went extinct recently.
Maybe it was because of the climate. Maybe it's because there is no female Oompa Loompa.
That line
and
makes
thus they
sense
can't
now.
Procreate. But once all the Oompa Loompas died out, Wilfred Wonka needed the next best thing to keep his perpetual engine running. Small children.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Isn't that nuts?
That's cool.
The Oompa Loompa part's insane.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
It's like
That
he
makes
went,
the
it went
extinct
extinct.
line even crazier, bro.
It just lines up. I just wanted to show that because it was pretty cool. If you've seen that movie, that thing's pretty nuts. All right, rating.
I'll give it like a 3.6. I'll give it 3.6.
I'll pop in with a 3.6 with you too.
Ty, let's go to your Bong Joon-ho movie now.
Yeah, we got Memories of Murder. It's a crime thriller set in South Korea in the late 1980s, based on a 1996 play, and it revolves around some detectives investigating a series of murders. Like Jake mentioned, we get that guy who's in all of Bong Joon-ho's movies. It's Song Kang-ho. He's Inspector Park. This dude's hilarious, and he's like unironically hilarious as well. Very unprofessional detective. And I think at 2 different points he completely drop kicks someone. And it caught me off guard through the second watch. I was like, I don't remember that happening. Yeah, this is my second time watching this. One thing with foreign films, the first time you watch it is good, but your eyes are really focused on the subtitles, so you're trying to understand the story. Second time around, you can kind of take more in all the cinematography aspects. So this is my second time watching. So I got to like see a few things that I didn't see the first time around, which was fun. And then we also have Kim Song Kwang.
You got it, Ty.
King Sang Kwang. He's a detective from Seoul, which is like the capital of South Korea. He's actually one of the guys that Inspector Park drop kicks. He gets the first drop kick. He actually does his job, and he's like super by the book. And he like always says the documents never lie. And that comes back to bite him at the end of the movie.
You could almost call those guys good cop, bad cop, but like in the way that they do their profession, not like the way they interrogate. Like it's like one guy's a schlep, and then the other guy's really trying to like hone his craft and like figure out who's doing this stuff.
The cops are super corrupt in this. They'll torture someone and force them to say that they did it. That's kind of their tactic. So there's a lot of corruption, kind of like playing with the classes. We've seen in Parasite before. We've seen in The Host, which is another great movie that Bong Joon-ho created. But the camera work and cinematography, the opening scene, beautiful green colors, all the grass and like the wide plains of South Korea. And then it cuts to like this dark, the colors all sucked out for like the rest of the movie. It feels like Bong Joon-ho likes to use slow motion in his movies around points of tension. I noticed it in this one. They were reenacting the murder. And then, like, it kind of turned into, they're, like, the whole town's, like, surrounding him, watching them, like, reenact it. And then, like, the dad of the kid says, like, he's innocent. And then it kind of becomes chaos, and that moment's slowed down, so you can kind of, like, really take it in. Was there a moment like that in Snowpiercer, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, the highest point of tension in the third act of the movie, everything's happening in slow-mo because he's trying to really drain out the suspense as long as he can for the viewer. There's like 2 or 3 things happening at once in that scene. He keeps cutting to like each section, and I feel like that whole sequence took like 20 minutes. I think he likes to draw the tension for the viewers to get really engaged, it was interesting. There's these cuts on action. So one of the first dead bodies is laying on the table, and it kind of like slow pans down as you see the body. Then there's meat grilling on a grill. So it's like the quick cuts on action. And then I saw this other one later on. This guy gets kicked across the face, and then it cuts to like someone else getting kicked in a different location. So those are always cool to see, little like camera tricks. Bong Joon-ho's a master. Even from the first scene, there's different reaction shots with him and this kid, foreground, background he's playing with. Like just from the first few scenes, I was like, oh my gosh. The soundtrack was beautiful. It was composed by Taro Ishiwara. It's so pretty, like at the beginning of the movie. I like almost got some chills from it. This movie, it's like a classic mystery movie. So you got the detectives, they're trying to like set the bad guy up, but there's also a lot of comedy involved, which is like, it relieves the tension a little bit. And that's like one of the things that Bong Joon-ho is great at in his movies. A little spoiler warning right here. At the end of the movie, basically, they don't find out who the killer is. And there's this interesting scene that flashes forward. And it's the reason this thing's called Memories of Murder, because detectives still, like, it ends where it started with that first murder. He goes to, like, check the location of the body, and then this little girl walks up to him and says,
물어봤었거든요. 왜 여기 들여다보냐고.
그랬더니?
뭐랬더라? 맞아. 옛날에 여기서 자기가 했던 일이 생각나서
there was a guy like looking there just the other day. So the murder's still out there, and he was like, what do you look like? And she says,
그냥 평범해요.
The actor, Inspector Park, kind of turns and looks like directly into the camera, and he's looking out and the audience, like it could be any one of us, and it kind of leaves you with that, like, who was it? Because there is a suspect in the movie, and like I mentioned earlier, this detective from Seoul, he's like convinced beyond a doubt that this is the guy that they've been looking for.
이제 좀 속이 시원해? 어?
And Inspector Park pulls up, and he shows him the papers that the DNA or something didn't match, so they let him go. But he was so like dead set on like, this is the guy, but the documents never lie, so he didn't get to kill him. But he was like throwing some shots at him, like he was gonna try to kill him. This dude was beyond mad at the end of that thing.
I think the spoiler part that you're talking about, when like he goes back to reminisce about the murder he didn't solve.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that the other side of that, like he did the same exact thing. So like he went back there to reminisce about the murder that he committed. Like it's just like it's like a deep scene. And yeah, that's I thought that was like one of my favorite ways to end a movie. Like where it started is like where you finish, on this big cliffhanger of like it could have been anybody.
And there's some common shots that line up from this one and like Parasite. There's this one like creepy scene I have to mention, where this guy like completely sticks his head up out of the grass like this. He's like this. Yeah. And it's like super scary, but you see that in Parasite as well, like on the stairs.
There's like radio silence there too. That's the part that I like.
All right, rating. Memories of Murder, I'm going to give it it's closing in on a 5 here. I don't love it as much as Parasite. I'll give it like a 4.9.
Yeah, I need to watch it again if I'm going to give it a 5, but like it definitely is in that 4.8 to 5 range for sure for me. All right, let's get into the coming soon section here.
Coming soon to theaters.
We've been talking about this one for a while, and it's right around the corner. As of this recording, 2 days away. Napoleon's going to be coming out. Reviews are mixed on it, but I mean, anything Joaquin Phoenix is in for me is just going to be, I'm going to be all about it.
Hey, this Ridley Scott guy is like such a dog too. Like he's throwing like full swings at people on Twitter.
He was like, sorry if you don't like it. Like this is what it is. Like he's the man. And like if you watch the last one, he did Blade Runner, the original. So
yeah, they said what happened was so apparently some historians were mad about it, and then he's like, "Were you there?" I didn't think so. Like shut the fuck up or some shit. Like that's what he said to him.
Oh no. Quick update. I did watch Blade Runner 2049 this past week. That one was, I think it's better than the original. I know it's controversial to always say that, but I think it did the world justice, and I think the mystery that was involved there was like better than I expected it to be. And then the set pieces and the colors, like in all the different scene locations, it's fun.
Guys, November 22nd, big day for movies in general. We got a ton of them coming out. Like they want to get you going to the movies this Thanksgiving. You got Maestro with Bradley Cooper's directorial debut. And then we also got Good Burger 2. That's a great comedy from back in the day.
That'll be a good break between Napoleon and Maestro. We'll have to throw that one, sandwich that one in there. No pun intended.
Welcome to Good Burger, home with a good burger. Can I take your order?
Oh, it's on Paramount Plus. Only on Paramount Plus.
The new adventures of Ed and Dex starts now.
Damn, bro got old, huh?
Oh, sorry. The new adventures of Ed and Dex starts now.
This is like a road trip one.
You think I can get a job at Good Burger?
I'm putting a good word to Mr. Jensen. That's not soap, by the way. It's maple syrup. Why?
Do you guys serve veggie burgers?
I can serve anything on the menu. Good burger! It's fried!
Are you using a plunger to unclog the shake machine, as in the same plunger we use to unclog the toilet?
No. It really means a lot that you came to see me.
Well, you're my best friend.
We're going to be opening mega good burgers in cities all over the world.
From Hollywood to Hong Kong. Hong Kong is not a city, it's the name of an ape.
King Kong.
The game with the paddles?
Ping pong.
The sound a doorbell makes.
Ding dong.
What?
We shut
That's a
down the
good
store.
part,
Shut it down.
But now I know it.
I don't think you really understand. You're
Bro,
all
what is that guy doing?
I like that. Fired! Fired! It's hot!
That young gravy guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Welcome to Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Whoa. Megacorp wants to replace everybody with robots. We gotta do something.
We're going to change the world.
Here's your burger.
I asked for no ice, but there's ice in here.
No
Kai
problem.
Cenat, the Rizzler.
Yeah, I think this is just kind of like same exact plot from the first one, but we're just going to throw some new faces in there.
They're heavy going on that like 13-year-old demographic right now.
I guess it's good to introduce them to Good Burger. Hopefully they watch the classic. But yeah, this was a cult classic back in the day. Why not give it a reboot?
On a completely different tone, we got Saltburn. This thing came out. It's got that guy from Dunkirk, that one actor. He's from South Africa. But this thing's pretty interesting. It did really well at Telluride Film Festival. Apparently this thing's going to be the talk of the town like for the next few weeks. So something you don't want to watch on your couch. We got Dune 2 coming up.
Hey, guess who the director is? That Dennis guy that I was talking about. Dennis Villeneuve.
Oh, your guy?
He does the Dune
All right,
movies.
let's go.
So the first one, was a setup for this one. So everybody's excited for Dune 2.
Every story has 3 acts. This is the second act, so the climax of the story. And then the back end will be pretty good as well. I assume they save some...
Well, I mean, the climax typically happens in the third act. But this one's gonna make us even more mad about the third movie not being as close as we want it to be. Just like the Spider-Man stuff.
You're building up, and then you're...
So the mountaintop is not in the middle, okay? It's like this, okay? That's how movies do it.
Well, how movies do it, you change something at the beginning of the movie, and then you change another, like the story completely changes again. So that's gonna happen twice in this movie, if that makes sense. I learned it in screenwriting class.
So this one's like this to this to this.
Yeah.
Or 3.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they're gonna do it.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Hopefully, it's a good one. We know that the scale is gonna be sick. We know the set's gonna be dope. Hopefully, the story's there.
I think it's gonna be more like this. Like this. It's gonna be like this.
All right, Tye.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hit it.
All right. Boy and the Heron coming out soon. It comes out December 8th. Should be very exciting. Chase, dude, our little brother. This kid's out of his mind. He went and saw this Addison Rae. Chase was like, "You need to go see it."
I literally watched the trailer yesterday.
People were saying it's like a new like Thanksgiving classic. Like everyone's gonna turn it on. I just don't think scary when I think Thanksgiving. Like I don't know what we're doing out here.
Yeah, but like you might as well go into an untapped space. Apparently, this one has some tasteful killing in terms of like it's not like that poor person. Like apparently some of them deserve it potentially. So we're excited to hear it. I'm excited to watch it.
Then as well, we got Taika Waititi is lined up to make a Star Wars movie. He did a great job on The Mandalorian, one episode where he kind of had like the 2 stormtroopers on the motorcycles riffing back and forth. I think Jason Sudeikis, all-time funny guy, he was under the helmet of one of those guys.
Knock it off. Waiting for confirmation to continue into town.
I think he could put an interesting spin on Star Wars. I know he hasn't done too great on his last few with like Thor: Love and Thunder, and then he had one that came out recently. It was kind of like a kicking and screaming kind of situation.
So what kind of movie is this? Is this like the first episode of a new trilogy, or is this a standalone?
It's like a standalone. He's gonna like make new characters. His thing is, he said it's gonna piss people off, but I'm also glad he's kind of like trying to do his own thing with it. He's trying to expand the Star Wars universe. He doesn't want to talk about Chewie's grandma.
Yeah, no, that's good. Let's make some new characters. Let's take a hack. Let's take a hack at
I'd
something
rather
cool.
them not like mess with the Skywalker stuff. Like let's like just like go on a different world and like a Guardians of the Galaxy kind of thing, but it's like more Star Wars feeling.
You got the concept is there. You just gotta find some good characters to fill it. One movie that we watched, No Country for Old Men. The bad guy in that, Javier Bardem, he will be the bad guy potentially in this new Fantastic Four movie.
It's hard to watch these Marvel movies of recent memory. If this guy's on the screen, we gotta watch him. So I'll be there for that for sure.
They did the same thing with Thor: Love and Thunder when they had Christian Bale in there as their bad guy. So they found a way to potentially get some people to rake him in. So they got another famous guy who's good at being a bad guy.
The bad guys can be good, but it doesn't matter if the good guys aren't fun to root for. In No Country for Old Men, you got a bunch of different complex characters and then a good bad guy, and that just elevates that movie so much more. You got to have some good main characters on the front end to make the bad guy like matter. That's why Darth Vader is so great. You got all those other characters that you're cheering for against the bad guy.
Yeah. I think we're all kind of tired of the superhero realm right now. Let's give it a little break for a sec, and then we can come back to it and have some excitement.
The new thing I feel like is like redoing these video game movies.
Yeah, the Marvels had like the lowest opening of all time this past week or two. Illumination's coming out with a new animated movie about some ducks called Migration. And I guess the polls for their prospective viewers, they saw the count was a little low, so they slipped in this little beauty at the beginning. We didn't see it yet, obviously, but it's called The Moon, and it's got Vector from the original Despicable Me after he got exiled over to the moon by Gru.
Kind of looks like some Looney Tunes, actually. Like, it kind of looks like...
It's just a short at the beginning of the movie to get people to go watch this new one. I mean, we appreciate that. I'm going to wait until it comes out on its own solo, but yeah, good try, guys. I appreciate that.
A little like the squirrel guy at the beginning of Ice Age kind of vibes from that, which we love to see. That's always fun to look at.
Curious if it ties into the story or not. Like if they go moonshot, back it out to the sky, ducks in the air. That could be a cool thing. Probably won't happen though.
Maybe if it was DreamWorks, they could hit that. And this is all free, by the way. We're just giving out ideas out here.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can pay us if you want to. You should. Ratatouille. Yeah, we will do a breakdown. I just had a great time with that last night. I just had to say that was...
It's the best Disney movie of all time, in my opinion.
It's got all of it. It's got the music. It's got great animation. Attention to detail is like there. It's there. And it's awesome. Great voice work too. All right. Tye, it's time.
Game talk!
We love game talk. We love talking about games. Yeah, Ty's going to talk about a little Modern Warfare 3 because he's been on that camo grind since day one, and he's still going.
All right, guys, I'm newer to Call of Duty, like, in general. We played Black Ops 2, but we just played the campaign back in the day.
Shamefully.
The first time I played multiplayer was on, like, the 2019 Warzone craze. The craziest I've gone is gotten my sniper's diamond and, like, platinum, which I did last week. You guys saw the pictures of that. But I'm going for actual mastery camo this time. The camo grind didn't look as hard, so I was like, I only have to get one launcher platinum, and then like everything else is pretty easy. I got the SMGs all platinum out now. I got the pistols all platinum out. I got the launcher gold. That thing's kind of a pain. I have to get 25 like blowing up bouncing betties. So that's gonna be a tough one for me. The launchers always kept me away from doing that thing, but I'll get to it.
Tye, let's address the elephant in the room. Is the game a good time, or are you just?
Dude, I'm actually having a good time. I'm actually having a good time playing. The grind has not been that bad, and like I just need the boys to play with me, and I'll be hyped up. Jake's kind of doing his own thing on Fortnite, the Fortnite Battle Pass.
I am playing a lot of Fortnite.
Jake is doing the Fortnite Battle Pass.
Fortnite Battle Pass.
I mean, I'm getting aggressive. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't film any of my gameplay the last few days, but I should because, I mean, I am getting aggressive. Top fragger on the squad. If you don't know
that's what they
means,
all say.
Top kills on the leaderboard, and we're feeling good, feeling aggressive. Obviously, we're not building. We don't do that stuff.
Jake put a few Victory Royale stories on his Snapchat, I saw.
That's a lie, but I have been getting quite a few, and they will be coming.
Wait, let me dial it back in. Let me dial it back into Modern Warfare real quick. Armory, it was bugged for a little bit. You gotta expect these bugs like early on, but it's fixed now. And then I gotta get these ninja stars, bro. This guy got a knife only nuke, which is 30 kills without dying. And I didn't know ninja star. You can carry like 6 of them. Okay. I didn't know they were one shot kills, so I didn't like really grind. So now I've had the throwing knife in the lineup, but you got to get 50 throwing knife kills. I'm kind of busy with the camos right now, but then that'll be my next move.
So the ninja stars from the previous game?
Yeah, it is. It actually is.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome.
It carries over, and I think it'll be fun in S&D. I'm just like throwing ninja stars all across the map. I don't have them yet, so I can't showcase them, but Watch this guy absolutely obliterate this whole lobby.
Let's go! Let's go! Woo!
Alright, yeah, back to Fortnite, where the fun's been being had by Jake and many other across the globe.
I will take the helm on this. Yeah, so they added a new season to this one. It's just changed on the bottom left corner. Everything else on the map's the same. So it's still OG Fortnite map, which is good to see. I thought that they were going to do a complete overhaul as soon as the new season came out. That's not the case. The loot's pretty cool. Still got the plunger gun for movement. Boom. Like, it's pretty nice. And yeah, we're just getting aggressive. It's the same game. I'm having fun. I haven't really grinded a battle pass before, which is something you have to buy, but you earn skins the more you play. It's giving me a little incentive to play, and I'm enjoying it.
Oh my God. Jake, holy shit. Really mean one thing. How do I control this thing? Ah!
I enjoy the grind of that. For some reason, I just have a better time grinding this game as opposed to Modern Warfare, just because I think I'm a little upset.
Well, one thing I do when I'm grinding Modern Warfare, I do this. Take my headset off, throw it across the room, and I just listen to...
Throw on some Lex Fried, listen to some Street Talk.
Listen to some Street Talk while I'm camo grinding. You guys should do that. And then, yeah, like I got the Joe Rogan like rock interview going. I don't know. I like to listen to other stuff while I'm playing, besides the explosions in my ears 24/7. The grind's back.
Ty's like, what would you do for a Klondike bar? But he's for camos. He's in there just grinding away. He's slaving his life away right now, and I'd commend him for it.
You guys are motivating me to get this thing on my gun. All right.
Thank you, sweet boys. You guys are the sweet boys. We're calling you that now. Somebody DM'd me the other day and said, sweet boy, comma. And then he said what he needed to say. And I'm like, why is this how we're addressing that? Me, like,
the sweet boys. The sweet boys is our audience. All right. Gaming news. Some gaming news. Some exciting stuff. Tfue, who's been off the grid recently.
What a clip. To start Did you see that social media post?
Yeah, I did. Though, like when he's walking
Up
and
to the
shit,
sun.
he just rolls through his window. This guy, any game he touches, he becomes the best player at the game. He's a king of like finding out how to exploit the game, like how to like glitch the system. Like so, like when we were playing Warzone, like he would figure out. He was like the first one that was really like getting in cars and just using that the whole time and like shooting through out of the passenger seat and then like flipping cars.
Well, to be fair, that was the meta back when he was playing Day 1 Z1. Like he's been playing since he was like 12 years old.
I was like, this is big brand stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, he already had the muscle memory down, switch to the seat, shoot out the car window, right back into the driver's seat. Like, yeah, he's been doing that since the OG Battle Royale days. So he knows what he's doing in every game. And he's got some of the best aim you've ever seen. And I'm excited to tune in and watch it. I don't watch a lot of streamers on their live streams other than YouTube. But I will make my way to Kick just to see this guy back in action.
Yeah, I mean, I think he sees OG Fort returning, and he's like, I want to get some of that going on my stream. So we're happy to have him back because he's a weapon.
Yeah.
I saw Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. It's like an Avatar video game that's been in the works forever, I feel like. It's kind of like a GTA, like a Hogwarts Legacy game, but it's like Avatar, which could be fun.
Could be epic.
I don't know. Some of these video game adaptations of movies kind of... I don't know how I feel about them all the time. Sometimes they aren't great, but I hope this one is, because if I could just go and onto Pandora and just go check it out, man, I would love to do that.
I just think about Dr. Disrespect jumping into the customization side of this game and creating like the most sick looking avatar of all time.
That would be awesome.
So I hope there is a customization mode for your character other than just a face change. I hope we can get aggressive, because those things are massive, and that could be cool for like the world if they have like people to scale to kind of let you know how big you are walking around. If you're like hunting animals and stuff, you're in Assassin's Creed 3. Like I could be with that stuff.
Yeah, I think you can ride banshees and all that stuff, and I would love to get on the back of one of those black looking panther things that are extremely dangerous in the first one.
What if Avatar was a battle royale?
That's like such a
so cool
funny thing. Like all the streamers are like, what if this was just a battle royale experience?
I would love to see it. This one would be cool because like you could like instead of helicopters you got Banshees, instead of cars you got Jaguars. You can hop on the back. Everything's got a little. You take your tail, throw it into the side. You're like locked in. Bang! It's got like some pretty cool stuff built in.
Fortnite already showed you how to get some heals up. You just like hit the flower and it gives you shield. Like I mean, get active.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, hey. Let's give it a shot.
I mean, we're just firing ideas away today.
Yeah, we're just an idea squad over here. If you want to add us to your, your brainstorm session, we got some ideas.
Streamer of the week. I kind of want to start doing this. Okay. Jake's been mentioning this guy a lot. He shows up on my TikTok all the time. I don't really tune into the streams as often, but I see some great moments. This guy named Jinxie. He does Rainbow Six Siege. You guys definitely know him if you're watching the Game Talk section.
I mean, I see the title. I see where you want me to take this, so I'll run with it. Jinxie had Cassie, his girlfriend that's virtual, in person together on stream, and I think they had like 100,000 concurrent viewers.
So we're in Cassie.
And we're in Diamond. No.
That's what all the comments are on him.
But Jinxie's hilarious. He's so awkward in person. Let's stick to the sticks. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of entertaining to just see them work. I couldn't stop smiling because he's just so awkward and he just says whatever's on his mind.
No filter on this kid.
Yeah, no filter at all. Even around the ladies.
Really good at the game as well. He knows all the audio cues.
If you have not seen his stuff, it is so entertaining. He's like the quickest user of the Xbox console system I've ever seen in my life. He's in mid game. He kills somebody and then he will go to their profile, click on it, send a message, voice message, and then he like starts saying like some lines from Breaking Bad or something.
I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger.
And then he keeps playing the round right after that.
Yeah, and then he keeps going. I like Jinxie a lot. I tune into his stuff like every night.
All right, guys. I think that's going to do it for the show this week. It's been show number 12. If you enjoyed what we talked about or have any things that you want us to watch, go ahead and leave a comment below. And why not like it? Why not subscribe and turn on the bell notification if you want some more of this?
Yeah, and happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for watching to the end. Hope you guys enjoy your families this weekend. We'll be back at it next week. We'll see you guys then. GG.
See you. GG.